Okay, welcome back everyone to, well, a sober Sunday for me, which is a rare one for me. I don't usually come into session fully sober. Usually I have at least a buzz of something going on, but it's 90 degrees out and the DM didn't want a chance running to the liquor store or anything else before session and dying in the heat, as he was requested not to be in a bad mood by the players today specifically. So, with that, we're going to have a fun time. Now, I will note, secondly, we also do not have a Ned today. Ned is, unfortunately, spending time with family. Well, fortunately for him, unfortunately for us. So will not be joining us in session.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, some people consider visiting their family members like their mother-in-law, for example, terrible experiences. Like myself in my first experience, my first engagement. So, I'm just putting it out there, But with that, let's get right into it. So, before we get into today's session, we need to cover a little bit of details on what happened last week. And that was, imagine being married successfully. That was, the party had decided had landed in the city of Hraesla, managing to get a chance to check it out after hearing the news of what had been going on in the world for the last 2.5 years, and after come off about 2.5 years of downtime. The party was informed by Utbal that he would be not waiting for them, but might be in the area if they chose to rehire him. Then kindly encouraging him to, kindly encouraging the party rather to get off his ship as quickly as possible. With that, and a small deal made between Farum and Utval himself, the party, all four, would take their belongings and head into the city. It did not take long for the party to find themselves into a little bit of trouble, as some merchants gave them a little bit of an issue before they managed to intimidate them with their the realization of Ned's position in the city, including getting the guards of at the town gates to basically almost fall into putty in Ned's hands, as the party managed to get through as a group of four almost without issue. Immediately, they would find themselves looking into a merchant stall that caught Adams. Sorry, it took me a second because the two A names, I was like sitting there like, it's not Azurus, it's not Azurus, it's not Azurus, don't say that. All right, hold on. Adam, who managed to find a merchant stall with an interesting symbol letting him know that there were individuals who supported his antics against the collectives of pirates themselves within town. As the three members of the party caught this and followed after the merchant to a safer location and to gather some information, Dominander would unfortunately vanish from the party's sight. And though some of the party members knew subconsciously, none of them seemed to react during session. Thus, as the three of the party members would continue on through the town, they would head into one of the one of the massive market squares where a guild had been located. An unfortunate realization as the party caught on that not only were almost all of the guilds in this town ran by the same group, but that group was indeed the Patter family, as they entered into, I believe it was the Blood Claw Guild? Something like that?
Claws. They were all like blood mages or whatever.
Yes, well, they are blood mages, that is correct. But I think it was specifically like the Blood Claw, because it's the one that's the Warblade prestige class. As the party had entered in there, they met with one of the young female members, assumedly of the Patter family, who guided them into a room to have their memories looked over in hopes of the party joining and being able to gain the perks of being part of the International Guild organization. Not specifically this guild, unfortunately, as I believe Adam is their only Warblade. And that, I assume, is not part of Adam's build at this point. So,
no, I'm not a blood claw just yet.
Yeah, not yet. Give it time with this party.
Yeah.
But with that, the party found themselves split on having their minds read, with Ned refusing outright after the party had been informed of the old party's unfortunate involvement with the two of the major Patter family members. One who was the heir to one of the major branches, and another who was a member of the main branch. Thus, though, with Ned having his mind not read, the party quickly managed to get through everything, meeting a powerful paladin of the Patter family who would perform the ritual. They would find themselves completely their minds looked through, and after joining, would go out back to the tavern where they would meet two more members of the Patter family's elite. Not only with their food being given to them, but or drinks being sent over, and a little bit of issue with Farron watching her party members eat dragon meat right in front of her, being wyvern kin, and potentially knowing the person that they were eating. The party or saw as the two members of the Patter family's assassin group came over to speak with them. As the two did, Ned managed for the life of him to get the best bluff check he's ever gotten in campaign, convincing them that his name was not Ned, but rather Din. And that they had no idea who Domnander or the unfortunate sons were. Instead, that they were the what did you name the party, Adam? The followed?
Forlorn!
Forlorn, that's what it was, yes. Instead, that the party were the Forlorn, and that after a quick mistake, the head of the assassin family, at least assumedly who that individual was, seemed to be willing to forgive and forget, paying for their meals and drinks before leaving the party there. It was around there that we cut as the party was informed that Domnander had already vanished, and that they would not be meeting up with Domnander after that meeting, unfortunately. The party did not have a chance to react as we kind of cut out around there, because I believe at that point it was too hot for me to do anything else, and we were at a good stopping point since we had no Domnander. Now we return back to episode 62. Is this the results of our actions? Man, I'm getting better at titling these things every time. On the noon of the 33rd of the White Wolf, or September, in the year 65,003, 3 years before the official beginning of the Helmgren War, the weather outside is 125 degrees Fahrenheit. It is sunny with no clouds in sight, with the humidity being so thick you could literally cut the sky itself with a knife, like pea soup. Dom does get a monologue, as we're going to jump back for a moment before we get back into current situation, as we're going to jump over to Dom. Dom, as you're standing there, noticing that many of the guards are seemingly in this town of Fresla, a beautiful, volcanic, almost darkened slate town with glimmers of gold that seem to kind of highlight much of the city. Torches that seem to have mechanical bits of magma kind of continuously flowing through them, leaving no shadows anywhere whatsoever. The town is very much militaristic looking in its design. Beautiful, but designed with a purpose. Door frames are 15 feet tall. Most are reinforced heavily with metal to kind of keep them stable. Buildings can be fully closed up, and almost every building itself is a castle in its own right. And as you kind of see the main road looking down it, see the merchants kind of going about their business, many people kind of walking up, many fire giants walking about, as well as a few koboldkin here and there who have clear markings of being slaves upon them. You look one way, and you look the other, suddenly your party is gone.
Wonderful.
As you kind of take a second looking around for them, give me a search check, please.
Gladly. Did I overhear them saying, like, what kind of shops they were gonna go to?
At the very beginning, the party did say when they were getting off the ship they were going to be going looking for a guild to go get information from. So you do know they are going into town for that.
Yeah, so I can, like, look for where, like, guilds and stuff would be. Cool. Humble, great start. I'm saving my nat 20s for when I die, guys.
Yeah, right.
Humble 11.
It kind of fits in.
Dom, despite being a fire giant, has never been in the fire giant lands and is unfamiliar with this town.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, seeing Ned being so welcomed here, and seemingly so well loved was kind of a shock. As you kind of look
Did this
around,
guy do that? I didn't.
trying to like look for Ned, look for any signs of the party. Seeing one of the merchant stalls over to the side looks to be empty, with a couple of doodads, some books that look to be empty, some vials of ink set aside, some pieces of papyrus, and a couple of quills here and there. As you walk over towards the stall, kind of investigating it, seeing as the only place that's empty around here, so a small, well, at first small, shadow seems to kind of suddenly bump into the table or into the stall itself from underneath, as you hear someone in common go, "Shit!" as a loud bump on the head can be heard.
Mm.
Um,
Did the stall keeper get got?
As you look down, the individual kind of comes out, and you see this now as they stand straight up, 8 foot tall black rat, kind of in a not like very wealthy or expensive, but not too uncomfortable looking merchant attire. It seems to be a little more on the cheaper and simpler side to it, a little more bland, but with the sigil of a black rat kind of depicted upon a red ruby, seemed to kind of sit on his breast as he looks up. His features very simple for a rat beast folk as you get a look at him. His teeth are yellowish. His hair is almost completely black. His eyes jet black. Honestly, Dom, if you had to pick him out of a crowd of other individuals of his people, you probably couldn't tell the difference.
Mm.
As he kind of looks up at you, kind of rubbing his head, and goes, "Oh, oh, hello, this is my stall. How do you do?"
Hmm. I'm doing quite well. I'm simply perusing the markets here. Tell me, what is it you sell here? And I'll kind of like look at him, glance over his stall, and then kind of look back. Kind of, can I
Hmm?
size up what this guy's deal is?
Yeah.
Does he
Uh,
seem like a legit merchant? Is he nervous because of how I look? Is he nervous because he's a scam?
Yeah, give me either a gather information, or you can give me an appraise check to get an idea of what
Yeah.
this guy's wearing and how legitimate he looks.
Yeah. So praise or gather information. My gather information is gonna be higher, so I'm gonna gather some info. I'm gonna, assess the situation. That's a 23. I'm
Damn!
assessing the situation. Yeah, Dom can't find the party. Fuck the party. Dom can identify if this guy's a sham.
And you said
I spot that stuff.
this is gather information?
Yeah.
Looking around and like all of the things, as you see the price tag is about basically a copper piece for each of these items. The books are about 5. Pretty common for what you'd expect at a low-end merchant. They're not high-quality goods, as you kind of give it a rough feel over, feeling the paper's coarseness. He is dressed like he makes a lot more than he'd make off these items, as you kind of look down and kind of looking him up and down. Noticing the 3 rings on one hand that seem to glimmer with gemstones that are almost as big as your own eyes. Like these are big rocks that are very clear that you kind of notice. And looking him up and down, as well as the other merchants as you look over, kind of eyeing him, it seems that this is definitely, he's not legitimate, and that there's definitely something going on. Either he has a side business or he's a black market dealer, probably.
Yeah. Dom has in past cities with my poison craft and all that has done some black market underdealing. So I learned undercommon on my downtime.
Mhm.
I think Dom's gonna glance at the items and speak in a very like subtle way as if he's just talking to himself but clearly talking to the merchant. I'll say in undercommon, are there perhaps any other items for patrons looking for something a bit more exotic than this? And kind of look at him with an arched brow. Uh,
Give me a diplomacy check.
hell yeah. Guys, don't worry. I'm gonna shop really well before I'm done. He's gonna take me to the back room and I'm gonna get a knife in my kidney. Yeah, diplomacy, I could do that. 24.
Kind of smiles up at you as he looks, and responding in undercommon. He goes, "Why, yes, actually, I have an item that many adventurers have found quite valuable. I stole it from some storm giants. It's as he kind of pulls out this little red orb that's almost solid and crimson colored like blood. As he holds it out to you and goes, when you're looking at the item and you wish to throw it at someone, you simply say the activation code. They end up in having to try and get away from it, or they end up sucked within. This one is currently empty as he hands it out to you.
Okay. So he said, and try not to metagame here, that this is an item that, upon a command code,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna trap someone in it, like,
Mm-hmm.
like essentially a Pokeball.
Correct.
He's offering it out to me. Can I don't think Dom's gonna be able to succeed, which is why I don't think this matters anyway. Can I roll some kind of Arcana check to see if this item is currently, like, attuned to him, or, like, is gonna get me if I
Yeah, you
if
could
I
give
grab
me
it?
a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana check.
I was gonna say, he could make money selling stolen goods. He could also make money kidnapping people and holding them for ransom.
Slave trade
I
is a
don't
very
think
common
Dom is-
thing. Yep.
Yeah, I think Dom is aware of where he's at and what he looks like, which is not fully giant. You said
Spellcraft or knowledge
Over the-
arcana.
Spellcraft or Knowledge Arcana. Okay.
And I will note, Dom would know this, attunement is a very rare thing. Only artifacts with
Okay.
typically personalities attune to the soul of an individual.
Okay. I'll roll some Knowledge Arcana. Because surprisingly, the monk doesn't have really good spellcraft. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it?
I'm always out here crafting spells. Only a 13.
Well, it's not attuned to him. It's not an artifact.
Yeah.
And you said this is spellcraft?
This is Knowledge Arcana.
Knowledge arcana. And as you kind of look down at this Dom, I mean, he didn't specifically say he had to throw it. I mean, usually when you specify a magic item has to be thrown, that's because it has to be thrown as you kind of take a look at this item.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think Dom looks at it, is acknowledging that they are in a semi-public area, and will reach down to take it to like kind of hold it up and get a better look at it.
Yeah.
And assess the situation. I think he's trying. He's probably not going to do good because he doesn't know shit about magic. But he's trying to, like, assess that it isn't like a cheap knockoff, or like basically make sure it's valuable before this guy hits it with like a big price tag. Does a sales pitch, you know.
Yeah, give me another price check.
Yeah.
As you hold it up to the sun, kind of looking at, seeing the glimmering red and the swirling coloration of it.
Yeah, my humble appraise check. A 16. A humble 16.
You'd guess this to probably be worth about 1.6 million gold pieces. It's not a rare magic item in a sense, but it's not an easy one to get. Recognizing the craftsmanship of this, I mean, it's a high quality item. You'd guess somewhere around cash level, maybe 10 or 13.
Yeah. I think Dom looks that over and is acknowledging that he does not have enough for probably how much the guy's gonna ask. But we'll ask anyway. How much are you looking for this item? And did you manage to get any other items of note from these storm giants you said? And this is all still in Undercommon.
He smiles and nods and goes, for you? 1 million. And for your question, yes, I have heart stones, rodent stones, a few rodent nets, some storm glass swords, gauntlets. What one are you interested in?
I think gauntlets would interest me personally. I would also love to take a look at your sword. I have a party member who's in need of an upgrade. He's in the area, I'm sure, looking at other swords. But if you have items of this quality, and he kind of like hefts the orb, I think he'd be much suited having one of your items. And I will offer it back since I'm not gonna purchase it, and I don't want it to seem like I'm gonna try to run off and steal it, because that's stupid.
Yes, he takes it and puts it back into his bag of holding and nods and goes, yes,
Yeah.
follow me. We have a market stall nearby at the in front of the guilds, and then we can take you into the guild shop to look at more of our unique items that we've collected that would be of interest of someone of your caliber. As he gives a light smile.
Yes, and if you happen to gotten any exotic monster parts or poisons and things like that, that is my hobby. I would be interested in those. And I'd be open to bartering as well. I have some monster parts that aren't going to be common in this area. And Dom will be ready to go do business with this guy. This is so far standard to experiences he's had in the past.
Yeah, and as
I
he
mean,
kind of smiles and walks behind from behind the stall. He kind of looks up at you and smiles and goes, "Of course, but first, if I may," and then as Dom immediately, seemingly sensing something, jumps to the side, their mind
yep.
seems to go almost blank, and their body goes limp as they drop, eyes rolling back into their head. And to the casual viewers on the street, they watch as an ancient-looking, 2 foot tall, cloaked figure in what looks to be a mix of dragon and storm giant leather cloak kind of comes out of the one of the alleys, waves a terrifying necrotic looking staff that has limbs still twitching on it that have been severed and are bleeding, a heartbeat at the very core of it that seems to almost give it a rhythmic beat that feels unnatural and echoes in the eardrums of everyone around. As Dolmander finds themselves going unconscious, the last thing them seeing is the rat folk smiling and 2 silver teeth kind of shining as he does so.
I think Dom just in his last bits of consciousness, and guys, I want to emphasize to the video, I rolled really good on my will save. This was just a very unfortunate DC for me. Just curses and giant, and then goes
Mhm.
everything goes dark.
As you do, you find yourself kind of awakening in a darkened room. What looks to, as you look down, you seem to be strapped to some sort of fleshy, wet piece of furniture as you kind of move about. Is seems to pull your arms into it as you find your arms bound behind your back, your legs kind of sucked into this object you're sitting on. As you try to pull, feeling the almost muscular resistance as something had like a snake had wrapped around your leg and was pulling it back towards it. It's wet, it's warm, and it's uncomfortable as all hell, Dome. As you continue sitting in this, looking up and looking around as you're try to get your eyes, you realize there is a sort of bandana seemingly like covering your eyes, making it so you can't see anything as you hear the sounds of a door kind of lurch open and then closes quite abruptly as the sounds of little feet kind of move about, and then the sounds of wood kind of scraping against wood kind of can be heard as someone takes seemingly plop down in front of you.
Does my graph that lets me see invisibility, I assume that does not let me see invisible creatures through fabric?
Correct.
Okay, that was the best I got. I just wanted, you never know, just one eye peeping out. Um, I
And
guess, yeah, Dom, am I gagged or am I
you are
only
not gagged. However, I will
okay.
note you cannot cast as of right now. Anytime you
Oh yeah,
try to speak a spell, you will find yourself tongue tied.
I don't got spells, don't worry.
I will also note
Just a
anytime you
monk.
find yourself feeling to insult your captor, you will also feel yourself suddenly tongue tied.
I think Dom is hears someone and straightens, but he won't be the first to speak. He doesn't know the situation, he doesn't know who's sitting in front of him, and he assumes if he's been kidnapped, then whoever this is has some spiel they're gonna want to go through. So he's just, can I actually make a listen check and try to like echolocate, assess, like, can I hear any other people?
Sure.
Does it sound like I'm by the docks? Does it sound like I'm
Yeah.
in town? Is there like a breeze? Like basically trying to mentally map whatever area I'm in.
Yeah, give me a spell check. Or spellcraft check. Or sorry, listen check. God damn, man. So I was reading a PM at the same time.
Please don't make me do a spellcraft check.
Right?
Damn, please. Okay, listen. Come on, Dom. You got this. 23. Keep
So,
my
for
ears.
good and bad, you do succeed. Uh,
Oh, nice.
Firstly, you do hear a second pair of footsteps that are very faint, coming from behind you and very metallic, like they're wearing heavy armor. You also hear the sound of a blade unsheathing and can hear the movement of someone warming up behind you as if they're seemingly waving something at your neck quite quickly and like rapidly. Those stopping right before hitting you. Um, Otherwise, the only thing that you notice in the room is the seemingly eerie occasional sound of a very faint heartbeat that is not yours.
A faint what?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. Oh, like from the flesh chair I'm in, or my
No,
own?
just from the room around you.
Oh, I'm in a big house mimic or something. That's not good.
And as you
Uh
can go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
As you kind of realize this, is there anything lastly you'd like to do before we cut over to the other two?
Um, I think Dom has a backup plan emergency, but I think he does not know with confidence the situation, and I think he wants to know who's there. So I think Dom's goal right now, while he's trying to figure an escape out, is to wait until this person speaks or he is struck by a blade.
Okay, give me an escape
So I
artist
guess a
real
hold
quick.
action. Oh, escape. Yeah, yeah. I forgot that's a role you could just do. If I
Mhm.
could, like, yeah, subtly try to get my hands out. Yeah. What is that? Is it literally just escape, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Escape artist.
it's a skill
I
check.
wish I boosted this skill more.
Yep.
Eh, I have a decent dex, but I always could have been boosting this, and I was like, oh no,
Got
surely
this. Let's see
not.
what you can roll though.
Surely not me. Humble 18.
18. Sadly, that does not succeed as you find kind of move about, not enough to get your
Why did I
captors to
do this?
notice, but as you kind of try and move your hands and try and move your legs, you are tied down or you are stuck in this chair so hard. There's no way of getting out of this with the current roll you just pulled.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of my monkly feats assist with escape artist rolls. So I think until Dom has more information for his super secret backup plan, I think, yeah, Dom's just kind of stuck trying to get
Mhm.
more of a read on the situation
Okay.
and why he's been kidnapped. There's so many reasons, it's
That's
hard to go
true.
through the list.
All right. Now, as we jump back over to the current party and a little bit forward in time once more, Adam and Lady Pharaoh. As you two sit there, Ned kind of looks between the two of you, and with the dragon kind of having down the dragon stew, kind of looks up, and there's a look in his face of sudden panic as he seems to almost like clinch and tighten. He kind of stands up and then leans down to Lady Farum and goes, I need the bathroom. I don't want to be killed by the mice. Someone will find a place to squat." And he turns and starts like kind of crab walking away as he holds his ass.
Wonderful.
Uh, Go ahead.
No, that's all.
Okay. As you say that, kind of watching him, disappointment in your eyes as he disappears around the corner after talking to one of the members that worked at the guild. Um, you notice as both you and Adam kind of look over and kind of see him disappear. A moment later, there is a note on your table.
Fairm will grab it.
You kind of pick it up, looking over it. It reads, "Dear Ned of the Grass and Tree Grove, we know who you are. We have captured Dom Nander of the Nander clan, and we demand that you turn yourself over. Make this easy, and we will not kill you slowly. We will kill you quickly. Do not choose to turn yourself over, and we will end your bloodline. Signed, wouldn't you like to know?" And then you see a little, like, what looks to be a skull kind of painted in black next to that.
Fairm's just gonna kind of slowly stand up, her hands on the table, and she's gonna look around. There is a main desk where a receptionist kind of works.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, that's who you talked to previously.
She would like to go back over that way.
Okay. And Adam, you were about to say something as well?
Well, I was going to ask, what's our plan? But I assume Ferrum now has a plan because they're doing things. So I'm just going to I'm just gonna gorilla walk behind him.
Okay.
Mhm.
And she kind of like seeing Ned, who was eating the same food plate, and like what just happened to him, as she kind of put the bull pushing forward, yeah, not trusting anymore. As you follow up behind Lady Pharaoh. All right. As knuckle walking as you do behind, a couple of the members of the guild kind of watch. Some seem to snicker and laugh as they point over at you, Adam, but none seem to get up or say anything as the two of you make your way over towards the receptionist desk once more. Go ahead.
No, you go. You're describing something. Sorry, go ahead.
As you walk up, she kind of looks up at you and kind of gives a polite smile as she puts down her quill and sets aside her ink and goes, "Yes, the Forlord, how may I help you?"
Hello. I do apologize for interrupting. Would it be possible to talk to someone of higher standing within this organization? I do have information I think would be pertinent to them.
She kind of gives a nod and goes, "I can bring down one of the members of the family that run the guild, but I'd have to give them something specific to see if they'd find it worthy of their time. Can you give me some information that might let them know roughly like what you're offering, or a message to give them?"
Yes, actually, I do have some things I'm about to send you. It's going to be a letter, but I'm going to hand her a letter that has this information in it.
She quickly kind of turn into Adam and start kind of like penning this out on his back. Okay, she hand it over to her. Okay, she'll take it and kind of look at you. She doesn't like read it. She just kind of folds it, folds it, and smiles and goes. Wait one moment. I'll be back in a second. Please don't leave. We don't like having to track people down. She kind of turns and starts to walk away, kind of turning to see if you're still standing there for a second, every like few feet before finally vanishing up a pair of stairs at the back of the building.
We think they like tracking people down.
We're in a very precarious situation, Adam. I'm not sure how much you know about the Patter family, but
We know not much about Patter.
Dom and Ned are in a very similar situation as you are with the Collective. Fairmont would say very quietly as to not like draw attention.
Yeah, kind of whispering that into his ear.
Oh no.
And the issue is, Adam, we're in their home turf right now. Indeed.
Adam, give me a gather information check real quick.
Yeah. Let's see, where is that?
That's under gather information.
Yeah, I've never actually had to use that before, so I don't know where on the skill list it was, so I had to search for it. I found it.
Like a 700-pound man below the waist. He's gone digging and he's found what he was looking for.
14.
Alright. 14. As you look around, Adam, there's a lot of mouse folk in here. And as you kind of start to put two and two together, you realize the Powder family has to be the mouse folk.
Ah. They the mouses?
Say that again?
They the mouses?
Probably don't want to say that to them. Probably don't want to say it like that, but
Okay. What plan?
Yeah, go ahead.
what is the plan, Adam? The plan is I'm going to see if I can get a meeting with someone higher up in the Patter family
Mhm.
and try to negotiate a way for Dom and Ned to live.
Mm-hmm. What want me to do?
Just stand there, buddy. You know, it's
Okay.
Because Adam just kind of like, I assume, postures up, make himself look a little more intimidating.
Yes, it's because he's been told to stand, so he stands. He's not on his knuckles anymore.
That's true.
Oh. and one more thing, Adam, and this is very important. I need you and I need you to try harder than anything else in your life.
As he says this, the lady comes down and kind of steps in and goes, "Excuse me, Lady Fern?
Yes.
I do apologize, but one of the leaders of the family would like to meet with you. Would you mind following me this way, as well as with you, Adam?"
First, please lead the way.
Classic.
God damn it.
But there's one thing I need you to do more so than you've ever done before. Anyway.
Your appointment. The doctor's ready for you.
God. As soon as Roy said that, I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, already. Got you. Now, as you follow, kind of looking back, Adam completely wondering what it was that you were gonna say. The young receptionist makes small talk as she kind of walks you up, kind of talk about the weather, the terrible kidnappings going on in the city.
Yeah, how terrible they are.
The disappearances amongst the nobles, the dragon war that's going on. She brings you up to a big, rather large door and kind of opens it. And as it does, it opens to a simple room that seems almost completely and awkwardly silent. As you look in and see the same individual you had seen previously. The older mouse folk with the long kind of mustache and a Fu Manchu kind of sticking from his chin, large beads kind of around his neck, and a monk-like outfit kind of covering his body as he sits there sipping tea, although this time he sits alone, as the receptionist kind of waves her hand to kind of guide you in there.
Yeah, like Ferm's gonna step in a few feet and then bow and be like, "I do apologize for interrupting you, sir."
And smiles and looks up and goes, please, come in, as Adam cannot hear any of this from in the hallway currently, as there is a full barrier of silence, but Lady Ferrum, as you kind of stepped in, you hear him kind of say this, and he smiles and goes, "Have a seat, please, have a cup of tea with me."
Ferm's gonna sit on her knees in front of him and be like, I will have to kindly decline. It's a safety precaution of mine. I do apologize if you take any offense."
"Oh, that's fine. Just have the giant monkey drink my tea. It'll be entertaining." As he kind of pushes the cup off to the side, and kind of waves for Adam to come in.
Look at Ferrum.
This is on you, Doug. I already
Alright,
declined. It's on you to say that. That now.
Okay, it was more of a should I come in or not, but all right.
Oh no, yeah, you can. Yeah, come in. Yeah, you can come in. Sure. You can't
I'll-
exclude you from this session.
I'll come in.
As you come in, you suddenly the sounds of the fire across on the other side of the room that was blocked by the doorway suddenly kind of crackles the light, and you can hear a faint music that's just a light cello kind of playing in the background. As the older mousefolk kind of smiles up and looks at you, Adam, and goes, "Please sit, have a cup of tea with me. Your sponsor refuses to drink my tea, and that's rather rude in my culture. So I figure you're a sack of life. You should be able to live through it, right?" Looks at Adam, kind of waiting.
I'll kind of make my way towards and kind of give the tea a sniff to see if I recognize any scent of poisonous herbs or something like that.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
It's actually only poison.
Could you imagine?
Turns out it's it's poison flavor or tea flavor or poison flavored tea. Yeah.
That'll be a 23 survival.
It is a surprising mix of herbs and spices, but nothing you deem poisonous, Adam. As you kind of take a deep sniff of it, it smells like almost, what's that orange tiger tea stuff that burns like a mofo that you can buy?
Oh.
I think it's just called orange tea. I can't remember it.
It might be like Tiger's Eye or something.
It's something like that. Yeah, it's. I know it's got a tiger on it. I know it's one of the herbal.
Tiger's ball sack.
I was
We'll
gonna
give
say
you a
tiger's
kick in
ball.
the
Blood or
nuts.
something.
No, it's like a spice tea that's like got a good kick to it.
Dayquil.
Dayquil.
I think I've seen it before as well in the store. I think I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. But Adam will take a sip.
Yeah. The sip's the taste is a little bit spicy and it goes immediately kind of to your nose. It's definitely not something you've had before, Adam, but you can definitely tell that this stuff is worth a lot of money with the richness and the bold flavor of it.
taste good. Many thanks.
He smiles as his mustache kind of lightly almost curls up as he does, and he goes, "Yes, of course. I pride myself in growing my own tea leaves in these trying lands. Uh, the trick is to use the blood of those who are powerful and rich with mana, in my experience." As he gives a wink at Adam.
Oh, there's the catch. That's me.
Blood.
But he looks over at Lady Ferrum again and goes, "Please, off your knees and take a seat on the couch. Inform me of what you're wanting for this information that you have." As he snaps his fingers and a black poof of smoke kind of makes the letter reappear in his hand as he sets it onto the table, fully opened up.
It is originally I had planned on sending it at a much earlier date, but alas, circumstances arose that made it impossible for me to send it. And I happened to arrive at this city with Domnander and Ned. And it seems that you have already acquired Domnander.
No, of the unfortunate sons.
Unfortunately, yes.
He nods. That is correct. We do have Domnander. Their life is forfeit after the crimes they committed, killing the heir to one family and a blood mage in training, which, while not rare amongst us and our family members, as the public knows, it is unusual for the other branches to develop such powers and are quite unique and valuable, especially ones who have healing capabilities with that kind of magic. Very unique. And unfortunately, as he sighs deeply, my great-grandfather is not the biggest fan of having that individual killed, and blames the unfortunate sons. Rich and powerful, they don't care about who actually is to blame. They just want to kill someone and make themselves feel better. The usual. As he takes a deep sip of his tea.
Yes, I'm well aware of that mentality, sadly enough.
Good. So you'll understand that, well, I appreciate this piece of information, and I would be happy to reward you to equal value. Two major members of our family. That's a rather hard sell, especially when the one that was accredited to dying with the unfortunate sons was actually my son. Not exactly an easy subject for me to want to allow to walk free, but as he snaps his fingers again, and a pamphlet of papyrus kind of comes forth in his hands as he lays it down, and it says, Lady Ferrum of, let me pull up my notes for this. Yes. So, as you look, it reads, Lady Ferrum of the Trahir clan, and then down below, you can see something seems to be really heavily scratched out by Quill, as you read in Draconic, Ferrum, your family's clan name. As he kind of smiles.
Yeah, Ferrum's jaw kind of tightens for a moment, but she keeps it cool. She's like, okay, it's not impossible to find that information out, so it's not that big of a deal.
You've done great deeds for our family and worked for us as a semi-collector and enforcer, so of course I want to respect, based on your file and your accreditation to our family, the audience here for you, and make it very clear. Domnander is more valuable to us dead than alive. Now, that isn't to say there isn't room for negotiation. Everyone is for sale in the Powder family's belief, and one misdeed can always be paid off by another. But he kind of takes as a moment to sip his tea and kind of collect his thoughts, and looks over at Adam, kind of eyeing him for a moment, and looks back at you. His eyes kind of seemingly glancing at your weapons, as well as your equipment, as he kind of looks about, almost as if he's kind of sizing you up, and goes, I doubt if in your current circumstances you have any capabilities of convincing me not to let my undue rage onto Domnander and this Ned individual, and that, let alone convincing my great-grandfather to let them go. So, please.
No, go ahead.
As he kind of smiles and puts his tea down. Charm me if you dare.
Ferrum will look at Adam, and she's going to say, Adam, this is the moment where I need you to shut up. and then look back at the guy and be like, as she smiles, she's like, "I'm not here to try to save Domnander or Ned. They are a scorn upon this land. Their crimes are immense. Their bounty immense. I'm here to turn them in and get a portion of it and the items off of Domnander, and that is all."
Give me a diplomacy check.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is going to be a 31.
31. He looks at you and then kind of looks at Adam. What is Adam doing / looking look on his face right now?
Hold on, let me see if I can find an image.
I swear, if it's a surprise monkey.
It guarantees
If
him to
it's the
surprise you.
monkey.
Yeah, I knew exactly which one he was about to say.
The tea kind of covering his mouth. I know.
But animals,
like, "Damn,
animals
Sarah."
say nothing.
The leader of the family kind of the pattern member kind of looks at you and kind of looks back over at Adam and looks back at you and goes, "So your true colors do show. New dragonkin couldn't refuse a profit. You are always spurred by gold and valuables. I see no reason as an honorable," as he kind of puts an emphasis on that, kind of stops and goes, "respectful and trustworthy enforcer for the Patter family. We could not reward you with the things you asked for. You did indeed bring not only Domnander here on our request, but also now the information on Kesnanok. Ned as well, being seized in the stalls as we speak." Kind of looks between you and Adam and goes, "I have a mind to say yes. But I must admit, as much as I would enjoy seeing the look on Domnander's face, hearing that you betrayed them, that Ned has been captured and Kez will soon will follow suit." Or Kesnok, sorry. Kind of looks between you again and goes, "I must ask though, why would you betray them so willingly?" And I mean the truth. None of this reward. I know that there are much easier rewards to gather, and much less dangerous gambles to take. So please, enlighten my
Will laugh.
curiosity.
She'll laugh. She'll be like, "Why? Why would I abandon these absolute fools?" Let's see. During my first meeting with these unfortunate sons, I was immediately put into a pack of service to Kez. Which immediately afterwards, I was kidnapped and threatened to be sacrificed to his evil cult. And then, after all of that, in Domnander's infinite wisdom, knowing they have a bounty, yet rather than trying to go in hiding in a different port city, they decide to take us into the Troll Kingdom's abandoned lands next to a giant Thrycreen hive. At no point in time have they ever shown an ounce of knowledge, survival instincts, or anything but pure stupidity in front of me.
He nods. The days of adventuring. He smiles kind of fondly, like he's looking on into a distant memory as he looks on and goes, "I remember my first times. Oh, those young giants did not stand a chance when I had to betray them. But I understand your feelings," as he kind of takes another sip of his tea. "I will ask them. Now, our founder, of course, has his own interests in what he plans to do with Domnander and Ned's corpses, but I am curious. Do you have any requests of us for what will be done to either of them? Or any information you would like passed on to them before we conclude our business?"
I would ask for at least mercy as far as how much pain they must go through when they die.
I will promise we will give them the mercy of all the truth they can handle.
I already asked for the bag of holding as long as
As
it's
he
with the
sits.
rewards, Dom. Jeez.
As he sets down the tea and kind of snaps his fingers again, and then suddenly another piece of paper kind of appears as he kind of grabs a quill and ink almost seemingly from the air as well. Kind of starts writing down some things and goes, "So the request to informality is for the reward of Domnander's capture and delivery of dead, Ned of Grass and Trees' capture and delivery of dead, and the items that both of them possessed. Am I correct in this?"
Yes, all their equipment as well as any items that they had on them. As far as the bodies, grind them into paste for all I care.
Nods at that and goes, "Understood," as he finishes writing it out and goes, "Plain contract, no secrety bull crap. I don't want to deal with you a lot for longer than I have to, if you'll understand my business interests here. So feel free to sign here, Lady Faramtra, here with your true name, and our business will be permanently done. You will not have any information on what happened to the Domnander or Ned specifically. All you will know is that when you came here, they were taken in for their bounties once you've signed this. Your memories will be slightly erased, but that is as a requirement to the family's dealings. I hope you understand."
Of course. Baron's just gonna look over the actual contract real quick to make sure that everything she asked for, as far as part of rewards for turning them in, all of the items, the bag of holding, anything of all of that is actually on there and written in plain in plain text.
Yeah, give me a decipher script.
Absolutely. I do not have a lot of rings in that, but that's going to be an 18.
As you look it over, surprisingly, it is almost completely direct. It does. The only thing that catches your eye that's a little off is that it does say that once you've signed, both you and Adam's memories will be slightly edited based on what you two agreed to. Which is to say that neither of you will remember turning in Domnander or Ned. You will instead, your memories will be shifted that you claim the bounty and reward for two individuals, and that your party members were criminals that were taken into custody.
Yeah. With that, Baron will grab an ink and quill, and she's going to write Baron Ignavia.
To sign it, you feel for a moment your mind go, now, neither of you can make the save, but if you'd like to give me a will save each, you're welcome to try.
I mean, if you're gonna give us it's probably.
You got a chance. If you nat 20, who knows? Maybe something will happen.
Unlikely.
Yeah,
We
me
got
and my
this.
+4 to will.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Well, I believe in you, Adam. Specifically.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay.
It's a 23 for me, but yeah, still not.
Okay. Yeah, neither of you, as you feel your mind kind of seemingly start to, your head kind of itches, and you feel like almost a slight headache kind of come on as suddenly, as you look down at the document, Farum, it just shows you the two bounty posters of Ned and Domnander, and with your signature on it for claiming the reward. As he smiles up and looks at you and goes, "I appreciate you for turning in these terrible criminals. We will have your payments down below as requested, and I will make sure our receptionist takes great care of you lot. We have a free room on us at the inn as well if you'd like to stay here in town for a few days. No need to worry about that being covered by the bounty. That is a kindness from the Patter family to you," as he gives a light smile and holds out his hand for you to shake.
Baron's gonna be like, she's gonna bow instead and be like, as a show of honor and respect, I cannot shake your hand. But it's been great. It's been a great deal of honor to deal with the Patter family once more.
He nods at that and goes, "Sure. I mean, I'm not much on formalities myself, but I understand the need for it. Thank you both. Feel free to take your tea with you if you'd like, and enjoy yourselves while here in Praisla. And as always, remember, do not double-cross the Patter family," as he smiles at you.
Never.
That's
As the
a
fair
good
will
idea.
leave. Yeah, fucking dumb. Yes, I have PTSD from handshakes.
Adam,
Yes, I have.
are you going to follow Fairmount?
Yeah.
As the two of you head out and head down, before we cut over to Domnander, is there anything else you'd like to do or say?
I'm feeling great. She turned in two criminals, you know?
Mhm.
Like, you know, who no mine's been erased of any guilt
Mhm.
or anything of that nature. So it's great. This is
Adam's
one of the
stomach
highlights.
doesn't feel right.
Okay.
That's just the tea, Adam. Told you not to drink it.
No, you didn't.
As a dude, you gotta go back and forth as you go like down the hall and down the stairs. Adam feeling a sense of guilt, but he can't quite figure out why. And looking back at the tea, wondering. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do before we jump over?
Nope. I'm gonna,
I
Adam?
suppose not. I guess we're gonna go collect our reward.
Yep. As you two head down, we're gonna get to that in a moment. But we're gonna jump back over to Dom Nender.
Yay.
Dom Nender, as you sit there for a moment, bound, eyes covered, face completely just in the what you assume to be in the dark, you suddenly feel the cover of your eyes kind of be removed. And there sits the same looking individual that you had seen earlier that seemed to come out of the alleyway almost as soon as everything went black. The face is scarred and cut up. The flesh hangs and dangles, rotting slightly. The skull is emblazoned with gemstones of ruby red coloration. The skull itself is almost crimson, like a oxygenated blood. As it looks at you, a little light seems to form in the gemstone eye sockets. It seems to kind of move about and lock eyes with you as the blindfold's taken off. The rest of the figure seems to still be shrouded in a dark shadow, even though, as you look over, the individual sits at a wooden table, where a single candle kind of sits burning, and he is not seemingly affected by the light of it, almost as if the light refuses to go near him. You kind of twist your head, looking behind you, you see a rather small-looking mouse with a katana at the back of your head. At his hip is a sheath with the symbol of the crab kind of emblazoned upon the sheath of it. His armor seemingly heavily armored as he looks at you, grimacing. He's a very clear look of a young rat folk, a young rat folk, but you're not really sure otherwise of anything else. There's not many other distinguishable marks about him. But as the red skull kind of turns over or looks at you as you kind of focus back in front of you, it smiles and goes eerily as the bones the mouth kind of chatters and you can hear the teeth clicking every time he speaks. The creature in giant goes, Dom Nander, or Dom, of the clan Nander, Prince that was promised, killer, vote, dealer of souls, slayer of geese. I have no interest in telling you my plans, my thoughts, or my intentions. Instead, I will let the situation speak for itself. You're the inquisitive type, so you will be able to grasp your own situation. As he moves forward, a kind of crystal ball and waves his hand over as he does, and you watch as Farum sells you out.
Oh, nice.
Not just you, but also
4K
Ned.
HD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dom gets 4K HD to watch the last thing he had, which was Ned and the party doomed and is currently trapped and is just stuck in this weird flesh chair to seethe and feel. And I don't know if it was explicitly stated, but Dom did spend a portion of his downtime explicitly trying to bond with Farum after the Thrycreen incident, and thus had spent some time with her and just thinks over those conversations. And I think he just lets out a dry laugh without any humor, and just acknowledges the irony of this to himself while he watches her sign the contract, and Adam's confused face as they leave.
And as you do so, Dom Nander's kind of giving that creepy and eerie laugh. Your eyes kind of watering, the kind of insanity beginning to take hold of your mind. Well, as soon as the papers are signed, you feel something wet kind of rub against your throat, and everything goes dark.
It Is there any chance with the held action I did earlier, I can attempt one last thing?
Sure.
Seeing her sign the papers, knowing what's gonna happen. I don't know specifications of this, so I'm glad Lev's in the call. My robes of the Durgar item
Mhm.
have a thing in it that I have not used and had no plans to use, but it claims that the user. Here, let me find it so I can get the exact wording. The user is granted a single use of plane shift to the plane of Moors. Does not send the user back. It allow the user to breathe and exist without attracting devils. It has one use. Seeing that he is sold out, knowing he has no options, that even if he escaped somehow and survived, he would not be welcomed back by his father. Am I able to attempt to plane shift to the plane of Moors and deny them the items, basically, and deny these captors my corpse?
You
I
are,
think
but
that's the
I am going. I will say I do have a feat that lets me react or do use a reaction to dispel your
Okay.
item.
I did
So
not. Yeah, I didn't know how it worked with it being a item. It just mentions it's like plane shift.
so what's the item's caster level?
That is a good question for
It should be
Lev.
down
I
at the
don't know if
bottom.
I
Go
have it
to
written in
if
the
you
notes.
scroll down, there should be some under aura. It should say caster level.
Let me go to World Anvil. I had the item
Oh.
written in my Google Docs.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I think it's 5th as well, but just in case. Oh, you're looking at it. Okay. All right, perfect. So that will be. So I have to roll a 16 or better. Right, for my thing. So it's a d20 plus caster level for a maximum of 10. So that will be a maximum of 10. Makes my life easy. Sadly, Dom, as you go to react to activate your robes, thinking quickly as you kind of not only giving a slight hitch in your laughter, not enough for most professional adventurers to notice, but this blood mage is by no means someone of your rank or ability. As seemingly even the slightest change in pitch and the movement of your robes, you watch as he flickers his hands, the candle seemingly glimmering as a red light flows towards you, and the robes incinerate. And he looks up and goes, "I respect it, but that will be the last time you ever attempt this." All right.
It doesn't
Hmm?
seem I have much of a choice. And I think Dom, just as he's dying, feels all the souls in him that he's taken and knows they will be released, but I think he just thinks on the pact to the soul dragon and just glaring at this figure, knowing he's gonna die, just in his mind declares them as enemy and just hopes somehow that ancient gloom dragon will know what these people have done and just seek them out. They won't, but I think in his final moments he's just thinking to himself that he hopes there's some retribution for having been killed, and I guess I
As
presume dies.
Domnander, as you feel the blade pull across your throat, feeling your robes burn up and feeling your lifeblood pull from you, everything kind of goes dark. An eerie grin from the individual's face as he looks on at you, smiling through that gemstone studded teeth, the eyes seemingly hollow and lifeless. As you kind of walk forward into the darkness, you are visited by 3 spirits.
Oh shit.
However, before we get to that, in the background, cutting over to Ned in the bathroom. The first time he has used a stall outside of Zebril's territories. As the door is kicked down, and he screams in high pitch as he grabs the stick, smacking one of the individuals in the balls before a spell start flying in, and these sounds of explosions can be heard rattling the entire guild as Ned is pummeled to death with explosive blood magic. Domnander, you find yourself, as we cut back to you, walking almost down a gravel road, a black pit all around you to either side. You see, as the path continues on, you have now, it seems to come to a point where it splits into 3 different directions. As you look down each direction, the paths stay the same as far as look and design, all gravel, all blackened around them, but each seems to have something at the end that catches your eye. One seems to be the look of a angry-looking dwarf, fiery red, slaying a massive dragon at the top of a mountain, cutting into him with his blackened axe. As it seems to grow larger, his power seemingly growing even more intense as he cuts down this dragon, seemingly at the side of Utham and his army, as you see in the distance as the dragon and the dwarf duel it out on the peak of this mountain. The second one, you see Kesnanok sitting on a chair, smiling as he waves at you. His evil, nefarious look, his darkened armor, pointed, horrifying, demonic, but his warm smile, his kind eyes look on to you with hope as he waves at you from down the pathway in the center. And then finally, on the far right, stands your father, Absalom, smiling, open arms, looking on at you, hoping, and seeing the child he never got to see grow up. Which do you choose, Domander?
I would like to ask, in this space in which I presume Dom is dead,
Mm-hmm.
do the remnants of his insanity and his battle urge, does that remain in his mind, or is he like a completely clean slate?
Your insanity, anything caused from your adventures is gone. Anything you had as a character flaw originally is still there.
Can I, in my final moments, in Domnander fashion, can I make a final sense motive to gauge perhaps the goals
Sure.
of these final 3 figures? It's Dom's last moment. I
Yeah.
don't see why he wouldn't. Like he sees people and he has feelings, but I think he tries to determine like what these 3 paths might actually be leading towards if he takes them, and is trying not to let just his emotions at scene, specifically Kez and his father, blindside him.
Yeah.
As he was so blindsided by this kidnapping.
And the lack of monologuing from the villain as you were just killed.
I didn't even get to I didn't even get to offer my deal, man. He was down to business. Respected, but 25.
As you look between them, you get the sense that going with your father, Absalom himself, will see you to a peaceful end. One in which it won't be happy. You have done deeds, as you know, in your life that have cursed you permanently, no matter what you choose. But this seems to be the most peaceful route, one in which you will finally see rest, your soul taken by those that it's owed, and eventually reborn into the divine cycle. Second, with Kez, you sense a path of revenge, a power that gives you a chance to get payback against all who wronged you and those you stood by. Though all he seeks is the kindness of his party, but you sense a bloodlust coming from him. The last one, you sense a greater mission, something that goes beyond you, goes beyond your party and the world itself. Something that will cause a shift in the fate and what should happen is the third one, as you look on, seeing the dragon and the dwarf dueling it out. That's all you get with that sense motive.
Okay. I think Dom looks at his father with heavy eyes and sad heart, and just knows what was robbed of him since he was a child, and just knows in his heart that he was never destined for a path of peace, that he could never rest easy, could never rest, and just go on, and just gives his father one final look and shifts himself to face the middle in the left paths. And I think he sees Kez's path and that camaraderie and that bloodlust and that urge for revenge, and feels that in his heart, just in his being. He has always been fighting, always been trying to hunt down and kill Oat and fight. And his gaze, I think, slides to the dwarven path, and he looks at that, and he sees the dragon and the dwarf and senses some kind of fate beyond himself. And he's never really had a fate more than doing what he was told, other than following Utham and following whoever he acknowledges as leader. Looks at his hands and just thinks about his name and what it means, and the words Doom Serpent, and how he is always inevitably, by his choice or not, led the unraveling of all that he cared about. I think he looks to Kez in the distance. I have to try. I have to try to do something, and I don't know if it will be good, but it needs to be something bigger than me. I have always needed to do something bigger than me. And brother, wherever this leads me, know I'm with you. And by the gods, I hope you get them, and I hope you make them burn. And does a salute, and Dom will take the path with the dwarf and the dragon, and with that rage and with that anger and that urge to do something, to be in control of something, will set off to hopefully change the world for better or for worse.
Yeah. All right. As Dom's soul vanishes down the path, following it as they walk, everything kind of blackens as they slowly see the things, and Dom gets a sense that something has changed as their soul vanishes into the world. Farah and Adam, as you sit down at the table you had been sitting at earlier, as the receptionist kind of told you to go wait while they collect everything, and that they would have the items for the bounty within the day, but to go ahead and relax and rest while they get the paperwork going. You did hear the loud explosion coming from the restrooms in the hallway, and do see a bunch of what looked to be heavily black cloaked with metallic like spikes on them, kind of about 5 of these figures, about each of them around 2 feet to 3 feet tall, kind of suddenly walking out, about 7 in total, seemingly walking out in perfect order as they march out, and you see something being carried in a sack that's about Ned sized. You also see someone kind of come over, another person kind of walk out, one of the servants, servers, kind of walking away with a long white snake on a platter that has been cooked. It looks like it's already been cooked up and is being split as the guy kind of walks over to a table. As the servant kind of sets it in front of the group of patters who begin to devour into the creature, you suddenly hear the crystal in the guild kind of begin to light up, and hear words coming from it as the World Traveler's Report starts on. The receptionist kind of shouts out for everyone to quiet down as she does so. And as you hear the report come in, "This is the World Traveler's Report. I am here reporting live as our 2 members, Daka and... oh shoot, I forgot the other gentleman's name, to be honest. He was almost blown up a minute ago, and I'll be honest, I don't think he remembers his own name. I'm reporting live from the front in the Utham territory, fighting against the Ormsiki dragon, as we've come to find out. The individual known as Alfred Stone has appeared, and well, seemingly he was fighting against the dragon not moments ago, and we are now getting reports he has turned and started attacking Utham and Greg's Maratom's men, as well as started engaging in combat with many of the high-ranking officials that were leading the army. We're not really sure what's going on, but we've sent Daka in to find out more. We'll be right back here in a moment when we find out." As it suddenly kind of cuts, and you hear, "Holy shit, he's coming!" As it cuts, and this crystal goes dark, and people start nervously chatting amongst them. That is where we're going to cut to black. We thank you all for watching today for the short episode. We promise next time we'll have a bit more, and we will see you all then for that session. Thank you, and take care.